Welcome to Rugby Chat for yet another year.
Welcome to 82 Rugby Chat. Look, I apologise to the Club Rugby viewers. Won't be doing a Rugby Chat this week because basically Club Rugby's a yawn this weekend. Southern Varsity Tyro, Dunedin Harbour, they'll win in a canter, they'll all win 13 plus. But the big game this weekend, it's the Highlanders up against the Hurricanes. I'm down in Highlanders headquarters with Brownie, and we're just going to go toe to toe for a couple of minutes just talking about the game. So welcome along, Brownie.
Well, thanks, mate.
So look, I wasn't that confident last week about going to the Tars because I thought, in my own funny little mind, I thought that they were the strongest team in the comp leading into the finals. Where were you last week with that?
I thought if we let them play their game, then they were bloody hard to beat, but we were confident that if we put our plan in place and executed that really well, the big guys wouldn't be a factor.
So what, if you looked at that game, and there was a lot of bleating on about the penalty try, but it was 5 tries to 1. I mean, so I didn't think the penalty try was that much of a factor in the game. I mean, you guys rattled them in the first half, and they didn't seem to change tactics at all at half time.
No, well, the thing is that they have a lot of players in their front line defensively, so the only way to beat that is to put the wall in behind them, and I thought we did that really well in the first half, and they didn't change at half time, so we kept doing it in the second half, which once they got tired, we created a lot more opportunities and executed really well.
So look, mate, I've written in the paper tomorrow about what's going on with the Highlanders this year, and look, everybody talked about like a lot of no-name players were brought in. Well, supposedly no-name players were brought in. You had the likes of Ainley and Edmonds and Honeck and Galdenase and Dixon and Leonard Brown latterly. Look, why are these guys? I mean, they were only just, like you'd say, they were journeyman rugby players coming out of NPC, and some of them are rejects from other teams. Why have they gone, those guys in particular, gone so well for you guys this year?
I just think they're quality characters, and they're really willing to buy into being a Highlander man and living down south here and just having a real crack at being a professional rugby player. And at the end of the day, to be a quality rugby player, you just need the opportunity and a little bit of experience, and if you've got the character to really push hard, then you're going to make it. So it's real pleasing to see our guys come through.
So look, you talked about that briefly. Said a lot of these guys that you did bring down, though, they were really experienced rugby players before they got here, weren't they? So was that a factor in selection?
I think a little bit. Especially with the forwards, you need quite a bit of experience up front to take on some of the bigger packs from South Africa and obviously the Waratahs last week. You need that experience to know what's coming at you and to be able to deal with it. So guys like Alex Ainley and Josh Honeck, those guys have been there and they know what's coming. So with a bit more help and a bit more opportunity, then they're able to play accordingly.
So look, but you'd hardly say you went up against that Tars pack last week. Look, you're not a big team by any stretch. Look, you haven't got a Retallick in your locking combination. All your guys are good size, but you're not a big side.
No, but what we sort of make up with lack of size is we've got a lot more fitness than other teams, and we play a lot faster, so we ask our forwards to do a lot of different things. So we knew that if we could tire them out, then our speed would come over the top of them.
So look, and most of the backs, I mean, you're more involved with the backs obviously, but most of the backs are back from your previous year, and when basically was in your first year last year. So look, they just keep going from strength to strength. Is that on the back of your brilliant coaching? Obviously there's a lot of X factor with this team, especially with your backline, but they just seem to have moved on another step from their previous year.
Yeah, I think the way we play as a team allows our backs to excel. Our whole philosophy is about creating space for our back three really, and even our midfield get the space as well. So our forwards and our inside backs, if they do their job really well, then there's going to be space somewhere on the field, and the guys like Waisaki and Pat and Bender and Malakai, Richard Buckman and even Ryan Tongia when he's played, there's space for them to attack, and if they're good enough, they exploit it, and as you can see that they're definitely good enough. So it's been pretty good.
Mate, so there's a lot of, look, I just looked at, I was watching one particular game this year, and it might have been against the Force, and that wasn't a great game of rugby by any stretch of the imagination, but look, and you defended for big patches of that game, and your backs had to do a lot of defending as well, but like when you got the ball, I saw one particular occasion. I think even Big Mardo from the commentary team said, and he went back and highlighted the fact you went back, 3 boys went back to get the ball, and instead of the first guy getting it immediately thinking kicking it out, you went through 4 or 5 sets of hands before you decided what you were going to do. So that to me says there's a huge amount of confidence in that, and especially in that backline.
Yeah, exactly, and they know that's their job. Their job is to work hard and attack the space that's available, work fast, so don't just settle for a line out, get the ball in quick and move the ball to space as quick as you can, and if we can do that we're going to be faster than any other team and hard to defend really.